my name is Kara and today we're going to be knitting the pastel rainbow cardigan of your dreams. So this is a tutorial for my chunky million color baby cardigan, and so you are going to need the pattern if you're following along, but today I'm going to be showing you how to modify it so that it's the pastel color blocking version that I'm wearing today. So you can get the pattern on my Etsy, my Ravelry, or my website, and if you use code YouTube, you can get 15% off the pattern. And keep in mind that I am going to be giving you estimates of how much you're going to need for each yarn, but unfortunately, I haven't had testers knit the pastel color blocking version that I have, so they are estimates. But this project is great for all these scrappy yarn bits that you have. Like, I only use scrap yarns for this cardigan. And this cardigan's so fun because it's super cropped, it's collared, it has really fun sleeves. Like, I have made it with a bunch of mohair as the contrast colors, but I've never done it with the color blocking version until now. And sorry about the weird lighting. It is about sunset right now, so the sun is going directly in my eye. So let's talk materials. So you're going to need 15mm circular needles, and they do need to be circular because you're going to be knitting in the round for some parts. And you're also going to need yarn, and I really recommend that you use super bulky yarn because that's what the pattern is written for. If you want to use a lighter weight yarn, you can always check out my million color baby cardigan, which is knit on 5mm needles, and it's made for more for like DK weight yarns. So first things first, you're going to want to choose the colors that you're going to have for each part. I had yellow as all of my ribbing, then I had pink as the body, and purple and blue as my sleeves. And you can even mix it up even more. Like sometimes when I do like this pastel rainbow like color blocking, I usually do like green somewhere, but this time I just wanted to do 4 colors, so feel free to play around with it, and I'm just going to show you how to do like all the color changes. Like, I think it'd be really fun if you did like all of the Pantone colors for the fall, but I don't have the type of yarn for that right now, but maybe you do. So for whichever yarn you chose for your ribbing, you're first going to take that yarn and you're going to cable cast on with your 15mm needles. And this is for the bottom of the cardigan. So first you're going to be knitting the entire bottom of the cardigan, which you can't see because of the camera angle. Once you've cast it on, you're just going to do 1 by 1 ribbing. So knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. And you're going to do 7 rows of this ribbing. And then for your final row, you're actually going to switch to your main body color and do 1 more row of ribbing. And this will make it so that your transition between the body yarn and your ribbing yarn is clean. Now you're just going to knit with your body yarn color until you reach the indicated length for your cardigan. And if you want to make your cardigan a little bit longer than the pattern says, feel free to add length here. Once you finish adding length to your cardigan, you're going to end on a purl row, and you're actually going to knit only the front right panel. So knit the stitches for the front right panel and leave the rest of the stitches for the back and the left panel on hold. And you can either use another set of needles, you can use scrap yarn, or you can just leave them on those needles that you're working with and just ignore them. Like, don't knit them for now. Once you reach your indicated length for your front right panel, you're going to shape the neckline. Once you finish shaping the neckline, you're going to work on your front left panel. And so you're going to reattach your yarn on a purl side, and you're going to add length to your front left panel and then shape the neckline for that as well. And all of this is in your body yarn. Once we finish both panels, we are going to work on the back panel, and we're just going to reattach our yarn and add length until we reach the indicated length. Now we're going to be using 3 needle bind off to seam the shoulders together. So you're going to be taking the front right panel and seaming it to your back, and the front left panel and seaming it to the back as well. And once you finish seaming up the shoulders for the body, you're done with your body yarn. So from now on, you're going to be using your ribbing and your other 2 contrast colors. So using your sleeve A color, you're just going to pick up the stitches around the armhole, and you're going to place a stitch mark at the beginning of the round and begin to knit in the round. And so this is why you need circular needles, because you're just going to be knitting in the round until you reach your desired length. And I really recommend trying on the sleeves here just so that you can figure out how long you want the sleeves to be, keeping in mind that you add about like 3.5 to 4 inches for the ribbing. Once you reach your desired length for your sleeve, you are just going to switch to your ribbing yarn and knit 1 row with the ribbing yarn. Just knit it. Once you've knit 1 row with your ribbing yarn, you're going to actually start your 1 by 1 ribbing. So this is when you knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. Finally, once you've done 7 rows of ribbing, you're just going to cast off loosely in pattern. And I find that with super bulky yarn, you don't need to do a stretchier bind off than just casting off in 1 by 1 ribbing pattern. But if you do want to stretch your bind off, you can always do a sewn or a tubular bind off. And for the other sleeve, you're just going to pick up with sleeve color B, and you're just going to do the exact same thing and switch to the ribbing color once you reach your desired length. So now we're going to do the button band and the collar. So you're going to be using your ribbing yarn here, or you can play around with it. I just chose to do all yellow for mine, but you can do whatever you want. So starting at the bottom of the right panel and moving up, you're going to pick up stitches spaced evenly using your 15mm needles. Once you've picked up the right number of stitches, you're just going to start doing your 1 by 1 ribbing. And you can always do more rows of ribbing here if you want a thicker button band, but I like to keep it a little bit short. Once you finish ribbing, just cast off loosely in pattern and do the exact same thing for your left panel, but you're going to start picking up the stitches going from the top to the bottom. Now that we finished the button band, we are going to pick up these stitches for the collar. And you're actually going to be picking up the stitches for the collar with the wrong side facing you. And that's just so that it's neater when the collar is exposed, because you don't want like this part to be shown because it's a folded over collar. So that's why you pick up the stitches with the wrong side facing you. So starting at the top of your left panel, you're going to pick up stitches and move counterclockwise. clockwise around the neckline. And you're going to finish picking up stitches on the top of your right panel. Once you finish picking up stitches, you're going to slip one stitch purlwise and then do one by one ribbing. So do knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. Then you'll just continue to add length to your collar, and you can make it as long or as short as you want. I like to have a longer collar just so that it folds over more easily. And you're just going to be slipping the first stitch purlwise for every row. And this is just so that you have a nice neat edge because this is exposed. Once your collar has reached your desired length, you're just going to cast off loosely in pattern. Now, weave in all your ends. I know it's really daunting. There's so many different yarns. You did a few color changes, so there's a lot of ends to weave in, but it's kind of satisfying too. And once you've woven in all your ends, that is the entire cardigan. It is super fast. It doesn't take up that much yarn. It's a really great scrappy project because you don't really need that much yarn for this type of cardigan because it's so cropped. And I just love the way that the collar folds over. Like, it gives it kind of like a stylish look. Like, you could always give people that look. Like, and I'm really excited to see everybody's different color combinations because I think that this cardigan is super fun. Like, I am planning to make the pastel version of the Marco Polo sweater as well, which is another like collared sweater. And that's also a really great scrappy project. Like, I'm planning to measure how much yarn it takes me for all of them. Like, this is the size small, and I'll post the measurements and the estimates on the description. But that's everything that I have for you today. Thank you so much for supporting me and my patterns. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me or leave a comment. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Happy knitting, and see ya.